while that you guys have won without the big guys really controlling everything?
I don't know. I just focus game at a time, to be honest with you. Um, but it was really nice to see, we're getting some contributions throughout our lineup here. Um, and we're getting more guys, like a little bit more balanced minutes going through our lineup. Like that's the second game in a row where Nate's right at 21 and change. You add Val and Lecky back in, and with the addition of Drouin Drury, and we're healthy. We got 6 penalty killers that we're using. They're doing a nice job because they're fresh, and so the depth is helping us. And then to be able to, the Drury line was outstanding tonight. And they get rewarded for their work. Colton has 2, Drury has 1. So you need. It's not always going to be those guys. I know we rely heavily on those guys, but I think that they played a solid game. You got a big power play goal, and we had contributions on both sides of the puck from throughout our lineup tonight. It wasn't as good a game as the game the other night. I thought we had a handful of guys that struggled early in the game and then kind of got going. It just wasn't as a complete a game, but it was still a good game.
It feels like the energy level is up. Is that fair?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think it was up before the break, and in Nashville it was up, and then like the St. Louis one was a little bit of a tough one to get over for our team because I don't know, but like we didn't handle the preparation or the focus and the work ethic needed in that game, and I think everyone was a little down that they didn't bring their best, and and we kind of tried to snap them out of it, and we bounced back in a big way, and kind of followed it up tonight, which is good. It's a good start to the homestand. Pretty happy with what we're doing. We have some things that that game needs a little bit of a teaching video session more than just showing what's really good and what's poor. Like we made some strange reads in that game and gave up some chances that I didn't like. But on the offensive side of things, we kept doing some good things.
You guys had that shift late in the second period that lasted, seemed like 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
You were just cycling the puck. I guess does this speak volumes to the Jack Drury line and what was working? And you just recently put Kitty Rant on that line. Like how much was that all?
Yeah, no, I think it all has something to do with it. Like that was a highly competitive shift, and it was extended, and then we were able to second periods. We were able to slip new guys on the ice a couple times and stay fresh, and you get a tired group out there, and things just start to snowball. And that was fantastic. It was great. We had some good looks. I think we had 1 grade A chance and a bunch of other secondary chances. I'll tell you what I didn't like about it is like at the end of that, and the clock's ticking down, it's 20 seconds, and we kind of get a little lazy on a reload, and a forward covers for our D, and we poor recognition, and all of a sudden they're taking off on an odd man rush, and they get a grade A chance. So, and that was kind of a couple of the things that we did tonight. Like you go play 4 minutes in their zone, or in a good 7-minute stretch where we're the only team creating chances, and we're having to work for all of them, and then in a 15-second span right at the end of the period with a lead, we probably give up the best chance out of the whole 7 minutes. We can't do that. So that's what I meant. Like we're gonna have to do a little bit of teaching there. It's discipline, and there was a little lack of awareness there too.
It looked like Nate got slashed, but he picks up the unsportsmanlike. Is that a situation where you can live with it because he's just passionate, or what's your message to him in that instance?
I don't have to say anything. I mean, he knows that he's got to bite his tongue a little bit there. I don't have to say anything to him. I'm obviously not happy with it. He won't be happy with it either. So like, I'm not going to bring it up again. Our guys are pretty aware. Even like they make a mistake on the ice, you don't have to go to them every time. You can go to them with a little advice, but you don't want to do it all the time, so it just feels like you're harping on him. Knowing Nate, like he's probably not wrong. I think it was a slash, and they're putting the whistle away because it's end of the game, and so I didn't really love that. But he's emotionally invested in the game.
Coach, you talked to us yesterday about Ross Colton working through the goal drought. He gets 2 tonight. What can you say about him and what that his unit was able to do tonight?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've already touched on the unit, but good for Ross. You know, good for Ross. I mean, I think he's getting into the interior of the ice, like we've been talking about as a team. And when he's getting in there, he's shooting. He had one in the first period, got slipped to him. He's walking right down Main Street, and then he doesn't shoot it. He takes too long, and then he just kind of gets a little fluffer to the net. And, you know, so I touched on that with him on the bench. Like, he's in there. He's got a great shot, obviously, you know, and when he's getting into those areas, but he's been providing all the, like, the physicality on the forecheck and the things that you want to see from him. But if you're going to score, you got to get into the interior of the ice, and you're going to have to shoot the puck and pull the trigger when you break teams down. And he did a better job of that as the game went on, and he gets rewarded again. So yeah, I'm really happy for him. You want all your, when your guys are doing the right things and working and competing like that, and you know that everyone wants to score. It's nice to see guys get rewarded for their work.
Kind of an odd scheduling thing, open weekend too, 3-day weekend at home. You know?
Yeah. Well, we're a little ahead of,
Yeah.
you know, some other teams. So I got to think by the end of next week we'll probably see all the teams catch us in games played, because we get really busy again in March, and they're gonna have to make that game or two up at some point. So, but it's good. Like, we're still got some guys recovering from the Four Nations. They'll get a day tomorrow, and some guys may even get the next day, and we'll get one really good day of practice in before we get set and ready to go for the next home game.
Your last ones, please go ahead.
The other day, you were talking about Shillington having a skill set that could really help you guys. He's had an elevated role these last two games, and then that second period, he has those 2 assists. Is that
Yep.
kind of what you guys envisioned?
Yes. So I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can with Shilly. He's a little bit high event, right? Like, he has a turnover on the first goal against. He has a random pinch with no F3 in the first period that gives up the odd man rush. So 2 of the best chances of the period, he gives them up. But then you see him, I mean, he had to have a couple points tonight, right? So the neutral zone steps up on the guy, steals it, pivots out of it with his skating, rips it up the ice, catches Drouin, you know, and then he has the other one later, I think. And you like, we need that offense. He's going to tighten it up a little bit on the defensive side of it, because I really think he can help us. His puck moving, his skating, he plays an aggressive D-zone style. He's just got to learn to make sure he's making the right reads before he uses his skating and closes quick to his advantage. So there's a couple reads, and some of that is just, I think, probably just a little rust. You know, hasn't played a lot of hockey, so we're going to try and work him through it because of the other things that he did on the offensive side of it.
You mentioned on Sunday that you made a comment about this team isn't the same type of high-flying offense as what you've had in the past. Were you envisioning these last 2 games coming out of that?
Well, I didn't say we couldn't score. I mean, I think overall in the league, we're still sitting at 8th in goals for. It's a pretty good offensive team. I just think that the offensive side of it comes pretty naturally to us, and there's been a lot of games this year where we've had trouble creating offense, right? So that means you have to be better in other areas, you know. And we've been talking as a team for the 9 years I hear, like, you want it to be rock solid. You want to be known for your, you know, great defending, you know, and you still want to be dangerous. And so we've been trying to improve our defending for years, but we've played, I would say the bulk of our wins this season, like, we've been really good defensively. Like, we're improving. Our goaltenders are helping there. I'm not seeing anything that's skewed that says, like, but we're going to keep trying to improve on the defending side of it, clean up some of the mistakes that we made tonight. We were really good the other night. And, you know, I've said this for years since I've been here, is like, the better we are on the defensive side of it, usually the better we are on the offensive side of it, because you're checking the puck back quicker, you're creating turnovers, you're getting the touches that you need to advance the puck and get our legs going and get dangerous on the offensive side of it. And we did a decent job of that tonight. We did a really good job the other night.